Hi, this is Shanda here to guide you through a meditation, a seated meditation, where we focus on the breath as an anchor. Before we get into that, I wanted to just share with you a couple of thoughts about meditation and the benefits of it. There's an article from Mindful by Jennifer Wolken that talks a little bit about, it wasn't too long ago that we thought the brain we were born with was static. We weren't going to be having any changes, but world-renowned neuroscientist Richie Davidson at the Center for Healthy Minds at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, along with his colleagues, shared three things. You can train your brain to change. That change is measurable, and new ways of thinking can change it for the better. And it talks, it keeps going on. It talks about neuroplasticity, the actual changing of the brain, and that one of the ways that can change is through meditation. And this changing gives scientists a way to actually change and to monitor, to see, to actually track what meditation is doing and how it's changing. And some of those changes that come are just being able to self-regulate, to monitor conflicts, to have more cognitive flexibility, to increase our executive functioning, such as planning, problem solving, emotional regulation, can increase our learning and memory, and help us with our monkey minds, those minds that bounce all over the place, and maybe even in this moment, you're finding that you're thinking of something else. And that is the nature of our mind. And this program, this mindfulness-based stress reduction program that these meditations are based on from Jon Kabat-Zinn, are very much an opportunity for us to sit with our minds, to notice what comes and goes, and to recognize them as thoughts themselves, and that they do change from moment to moment. And just to share a little bit from Jon Kabat-Zinn in regards to a sitting meditation, he says, to practice sitting, we make a special time and place for non-doing. We consciously adopt an alert and relaxed body posture so that we can feel relatively comfortable without moving. And then we reside with calm acceptance in the present without trying to fill it with anything. And that's exactly what I want to guide you through today with this sitting meditation, a focus on the breath. We'll use the breath as an anchor for this. And if it's not comfortable to sit, feel free to lie down, but make yourself comfortable, but in a position that you can remain awake, if at all possible. And if you are seated, letting your feet be flat on the floor. If you're in a chair, that you can use the back support for support. Do that, finding length through the spine. But however you choose, make sure that you're comfortable so that you can sit and just be still. Since mindfulness means being present, fully present in the current moment without judgment, there are a number of ways it can be practiced. Things like the breath tend to be particularly useful since they're always present. So if you were to focus on your current breath, you're clearly present right now in this moment. Because they are always available and always invite our awareness into the present, they are sometimes referred to as anchors, since they can serve to anchor our awareness and hold it to this moment. Or, when the mind wanders, they can be the anchor that helps us to return to this moment. This suggests stability and a grounded quality that's useful when we're trying to develop mindfulness skills. The exercise is a chance to experience one of the most basic ways to develop mindfulness, by becoming aware of breath. So as you're settled in, with your legs uncrossed, your hands resting comfortably on your lap or on your thighs. Or maybe you're sitting on a cushion on the floor with the hips propped up. Just make sure that you're comfortable, that you allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears, that you feel your spine straight but not stiff. Your head resting comfortably upright on your neck. Sitting in a way that embodies dignity and ease, but also the quality of being awake. Perhaps allow the eyes to close, or maybe gaze down the cheekbones or down the nose. You could rest the eyes on the floor, on your hands, a spot just in front of you. If the eyes are open, let this focus be soft. And if they're closed, allow them to gently be closed. Draw your attention to your breath, recognizing that you are breathing. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, increasing the sensations of breathing, but allowing the breath to be natural. Again, take a deep breath in, and a deep exhale. Allowing the breath to come and go on its own. Notice where you sense the sensations of breathing. Where are they most prominent for you? Perhaps at the nostrils where the breath is entering the body and leaving the body. Maybe you feel the coolness of the air coming in and the warmth of the air going out. Perhaps you feel the breath in the chest, the rising of the chest on the inhale, and the falling of the chest on the exhale. Allowing the breath to naturally come in and go out. Or maybe you sense the breath a little deeper down in the belly, sensing the expansion of the belly on the in-breath, the contraction of the belly on the out-breath. Wherever the sensations of breathing are the most accessible for you, where you notice them the easiest, perhaps just stay right there for a moment, or even through the whole meditation, so that your attention can be more focused and concentrated. Begin to ride the waves of the breath. Become aware of the pattern of your own breathing. The in-breath, followed by the out-breath. One after the other. Not forcing the breath or trying to control the breath. Of course, the body knows perfectly well how to breathe all on its own without any help from you. It's been breathing on its own very nicely for years without you having to do anything. Not trying to breathe for any set amount of time or for a certain count, just seeing if it's possible to let the body breathe on its own, noticing the breath as it is right now. Not counting anything, not trying to make anything happen. Just breathing this breath right now and this breath. Notice the full cycle of the breath. The fullness of this next in-breath. Sensing the slight pause where the breath begins to turn and the in-breath becomes the out-breath. The fullness of the out-breath. The slight pause before the next in-breath begins. Each a fresh beginning, each out breath a complete letting go. As we sit here breathing, it doesn't take very long before we may notice that the mind has a tendency to wander. In spite of our best intentions to just focus on the breath, we may find from time to time that the mind has a life of its own. We may notice that the mind has gotten caught up in planning or worries related to the future. Or then again, perhaps memories or regrets about the past. Or maybe fantasies or daydreams, some thoughts or another, so that rather than the mind just being right here, right now with this breath, it's been swept away in thinking. And when this happens, there can be a tendency to be hard on ourselves or think that we're failing at meditation. In reality, however, it's simply the nature of the mind to wander. It's completely normal and not a problem at all. So when you notice the mind has wandered and is no longer with the breath, simply notice where the mind has gone and then gently bring the attention back to this breath, whether it's a breath in or a breath out. Because of course, while the mind has been wandering, the body has still been breathing. So just coming back and reestablishing the connection with the breath. And if the mind wanders away over and over again, even dozens of times or 100 times, then dozens of times or 100 times, just notice where it's gone. Come back gently, but also firmly to this breath. Just this breath. Since each breath is occurring only in this moment, if you're aware of this breath in this moment, you're present in this moment. In this way, the breath can be an anchor to hold us in the present moment or bring us back into the present moment. No matter where our thoughts or our feelings or the events of our day or the sensations of our body may have taken us, we can come home to this moment by connecting with the breath, moment by moment, breath by breath, continuing to practice in silence for a few moments, using the breath to bring the mind back when it wanders, extending kindness and compassion to yourself as we sit, just breathing. as this practice comes to an end, perhaps take a moment to express some appreciation or gratitude to yourself for taking this time and putting in this effort to develop this capacity to just be present for your own life. Maybe congratulating yourself for stepping out of the busyness and the doing that makes up most of our days, which can be very hard to do, and instead taking these moments to nurture your own capacity to just be fully present with things as they are right now. Take a deep breath in and a deep exhale. Knowing that a focus on your breath can always bring you into the present moment, away from regrets or pain of the past, away from any anxieties about the future, just here, just now, in this one moment of your life. Thank you for practicing with me today. And be gentle as you allow the eyes to fully open, allowing the light to come in, and taking this opportunity to be mindful as you go about your day.